Okay, hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Musings with Mark, a video series in which I, Mark, muse with a member of the Yale US community about a particular topic that is on their mind. So for more information about the background and purposes of this video series, you can check out the intro video I linked in the description. And with that, let's get today's show started. So I'm very happy to have with me today, Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Why don't you give our audience a quick introduction of yourself?
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm a sophomore, and I'm studying liberal arts. In Yale US College, and I'm in the Elm block, and I'm a dancer, and I studied at School of the Arts for around 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I get my artistic
background. Okay, well, awesome. I'm very excited to have you share your thoughts with us today, Andrea. Now, Andrea, I reached out to you because I recognize you as somebody who is pretty active on social media, our topic for the day. And I also, in conversation with you, recognize that you have a particular approach, particular mentality, particular perspectives on social media that I find very interesting. And that is that you see social media and the arts having a very productive relationship one to the other. So I think that's very interesting. Many of us use social media, perhaps more than we ought to, and perhaps with less purpose than we ought to as well. So Andrew, why don't you share with us some of those perspectives?
Alright, so we're living in the social media age, right? And everyone's always constantly on their phones, on their gadgets, like checking out social media accounts. And so I would say that social media is a super powerful tool, and it can be quite a dangerous platform as well, but it can be used to reach out to so many people. And so I would say that engaging the social media world is quite important.
And how do you see that related to your art?
Alright, so as a dancer myself in Singapore, it's quite hard to find platforms to share my artistic pieces or like dance pieces. So I would say that social media is a good platform to reach so many audiences. I had like this video of me just like doing something so like ridiculous, and I had like 7,000 views. And I was like, whoa, like
7,000. We are in the presence of a celebrity.
But I was just like, it's just something so ridiculous.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, and so I realized like the importance and how you could use social media to really like evoke change or like just like cater to like such a large audience out there.
Well, I mean, that's fascinating. I did not know before this that I was sitting with somebody with 7,000 views, man. Well, that is absolutely amazing. I mean, and that's a very interesting perspective as well, because again, I think often when we think of the arts, I mean, sure, we know of many big companies or corporations out there that use social media to publicize themselves. But when we're talking about, say, an individual who has a passion, maybe a group of individuals, and then just the accessibility of that through social media, it isn't about having to pay a huge ticket to sit in some fancy theater, but this is a way to get art out there and to express a certain passion that you can call others to connect with you on. And it's something that's very interesting. But I also have to wonder, as you mentioned, how social media can be quite a dangerous place in the sense that, we are looking at a very limited perspective that's being presented. Some of the most viral videos out there are like, 3 to 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And people, I think, get very affected, very emotional about them because they can be very funny or very touching. And they form certain impressions of that. But yet we take a step back and we say, hang on a second. That's literally 6 seconds of footage and maybe one photograph on Instagram. How much of a story does that really tell us about life, and what kind of impressions should we be forming, if any?
Yeah, so like you said, it's so true that social media sometimes paints us like a very biased perspective. Like right now, this video, like it's,
I look the best I've ever.
Ever. I guess personally growing up, like as I scroll through my Instagram feed, following all these like famous Instagrammers, social influencers, I guess it kind of shaped the way I thought about beauty and how I should live my life, and that if I didn't live a life that looked like theirs, then I was lacking in something in some area. So I guess sometimes social media is able to paint a very a warped understanding of how you live your life. So it garners a lot of like false impressions on
Yeah, because I think that's the pressure that we often have, right? Like, I mean, I want people to like my video.
Yeah.
I want people to say that, man, this person's life looks amazing. I mean, who wants to hear, hey, your life sucks? Like, nobody wants to read that kind of comment. So you're gonna post things that present a particular viewpoint.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you yourself do? You know, recognizing that this is one of the pitfalls.
Yeah.
And you know, how do you be purposeful? Let's frame it that way. How do you be purposeful in your usage and maybe even consumption of social media?
Okay, so for myself, I use a lot of Instagram. I'm super active on my Instagram account, and
I'm surprised she's not using it right now. It's fascinating.
Okay, yeah. So I realized one thing that I really took, it really hit me when I was like using so much Instagram was to be real. Yeah, being real is so important, and why I say that is because last time I used to have like a second account. Do you know what a second account is? It's like,
educate me.
so it's like a private account.
Okay, yes.
So we have a main account where we post like the best things that we're going through, and we have a second account where we rage about things and
the real side of it.
Interesting. And I felt like I was living a double life then. And so I realized that so I deleted my second account, and I'm only using my main account now. And through this main account, you know, I share about the ups and downs of my life, and and people actually recognize that, and they'll come to me and say like, oh, you know, I've actually noticed that you've been through something, like, and I do it unknowingly, and I just post about my daily life, and like I'm just so real on my Instagram, and I feel like that's what the world needs to see. Right,
and I think that's such a great consideration for us, that, you know, you say you deleted your second account, but then you realize that in the first account, actually what you were intending to do, the life that you were intending to portray, you wanted to bring the whole range of experiences of life, if I could, you know, phrase that correctly, right? That life in the entirety of its experiences is far more than just the glamour and the glitz and the rainbows. And that being real means, there are good times, there are fantastic times, but there are also times where things aren't so great, and you want to be able to connect with people and just share that with them. And it's been great. You know, like you mentioned, people have been responding, and there is resonance. I would dare say both on the issues, on the kind of the lower gritty side and also the higher ones as well, right? So I think you're able to capture and convey a more full range of the experiences here. Yeah? Okay, fantastic. So, you know, Andreia, thank you very much for sharing your perspective as well as some of the practices with us here. I think one musing, you know, to leave us all with, you know, as we come to a close of this is, you know, what if we could use social media with the purpose and the intention very clearly to capture, you know, as wide a range of life experiences, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, you know, as many of the experiences as we can. I think really for the purpose of connecting and relating to people in the reality of life, and not just a fake glamorous perspective of life. Right? Would you say that's accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll leave you with that musing. And you know, guys, this is something that you don't have to muse about. You don't have to mull over all the M's. You don't have to think about on your own. Musings with Mark, which is this program right here, is always on the lookout for more people, more stories, more perspective, more thoughts to capture. And you know, leave us a like, react through the emoji reactions if you're on Facebook. Leave us a comment as well, because I'm really interested to hear what you think, whether on this issue or something else. And as for Andreia, you can reach her at Andreia Co on Instagram. That's Co, K-O. If you have trouble spelling out the whole of it, it'll be in the description, and you can find her there and connect with her there. As for myself, drop me a comment on this, leave a like on the video so that I can get some feedback from you, some comments, and then we can connect over these issues or more. So thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Was it okay?